Kids, aloha! Well, it's another happy Sunday. What do you think Uncle Martin has for you today? Well, you're right. Another true story. Oh boy, what would it be this Sunday? I've been thinking about it all week. I've run into some people that that said they've had some of the craziest dreams that they've ever had in their life. And I didn't have really time to discuss any of that, what it might have meant, their dreams. All I said was, they've saved my life numerous times when I was on the railroad. And since that time, they have done more than enough to tell Uncle Martin that he better listen to his dreams because there's only two times I didn't. And it didn't turn out very positive. It did not. It was not a positive situation. So that's why I always listen to my dreams. So I know I can feel as we all can feel because we're all empaths and we're all telepathic. And Uncle Martin's feeling a lot of people that might be just tuning in, maybe for the first time. Welcome. Other than that, all you subscribers and people, looky loos that are going to last for probably a little longer this time, and everyone else, all you little kids that have been tuning in since the beginning, I got something for you. I got something for everybody. I mean, everybody, even the people that said, I don't believe in dreams. I don't even have a dream. Well, that's what I'm talking about. There's reasons for having dreams and not having dreams. when when we want to get to know ourselves better, that means our subconscious, our conscious, and our higher self. That is when dreams come in to tell you things. That's all. That's what dreams are doing. They're while you're sleeping, they're telling you things. So let's just go with, first of all, people that don't have dreams. Well, do you want to have dreams? Would you like to have dreams? Well, this is what you do. And anyone else that's having dreams, I suggest you might consider this also. Before you go to bed, kids, before you go to bed, you always say to your angels, your guardian angels, I need your protection. Our family needs your protection. And I am going to sleep tonight and I am going to dream and I want to remember my dreams and I want you to protect me in my dreams. And I also want to have control of my dreams. See, kids, this is the way it works. Unless you ask for it, it's not going to happen. Go to sleep, la la la, off the bed. It's like a hodgepodge. Anything can happen. At least when you're asking for the request that we just did, it's going to turn out much more positive. Absolutely. So that's the foundation. You have to ask to remember your dreams. So then, as soon as you do this, as soon as you do this, you'll wake up with something saying, "Wow, that was something." Usually that's how dreams are. So what you want to do is have a nightlight. Have a nightlight put in. Ask your parents for a nightlight, and have a little book, piece of a book, paper, pen. And when you wake up in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 12 o'clock, whatever it is, you're always going to wake up sometimes, usually in the middle of the night, and that's when you got your dream. You got it. You got it right there. That dream is saying, Oh wow, I was on that boat. Wow, what was I doing on that boat? Hey, I was in the house. Wow, I was in that house, and where I was down in the basement. Wow, what was I doing down there? Oh, I was in that tunnel. I was over in that tunnel. Oh boy, I was on top of the roof. You know, I was whatever the dream is. It's going to be 1,001 things. It's going to be for you. So you're going to immediately say, "Wow, that's a crazy dream." While you're saying that, have your pen in your hand, writing down on your paper. And you kids, you preschoolers and kindergartens, maybe it's a little tough for you to write. It doesn't matter. Scribble something down. And while you're scribbling, you're thinking of what you're scribbling. And then at least when you wake up in the morning, you'll say, "Hey, that scribble means this. That scribble means that," and then you'll have something to work with. And if you don't do these little things of when you wake up and write it down, what happens is you'll wake up in the morning and you'll say, "Wow, that was a crazy dream, but I don't remember all that other stuff. I just remember, I remember, the boat. I remember the roof. Uh, I remember this, little things." And then by the time you get to breakfast, you don't remember anything. Maybe you just remember the water. You forgot you were on the boat. Until later on in the day, you'll say, "Hey, I was on the water in a boat. Wow, what does that mean?" So I'm saying, the more you want to know, the more you're going to get on anything in life. What you put your mind to, you will get. Now, I guess that's what the thumbnail is going to be this time around. I've been promising you diagnosing dreams, and it is important that we have some foundation. Now, when I got into knowing about dreams, it was through the Edgar Cayce group that Edgar Cayce did so many things. Just Google Edgar Cayce. That'll eliminate all the things that I'm not, that's all I'm gonna say. I brought it up in the past. I know I messed up his date of birth. It's 1877. Yeah, that's rather spiritual. And he made his transition in 1945. I know in the past I've screwed up those numbers, but I am making it known now. That was his time period here on this little planet. 1877 to 1945. And he did quite a remarkable amount of things when you get into understanding what he was able to do for people in a positive way. So when I was 18, that's when I got into my dreams. So I wrote down some things. I wrote down some things that I remembered. So it might have some kind of bearing for anybody that wants to. Well, I bet I can feel there's a lot of people that have had dreams just in the last week, or maybe in their life, and maybe it's been bugging you. What does that dream? What does that mean? And by the way, all you have to do is keep asking. If you really want to know, you just keep asking what is that dream? And you'll get that answer. But Uncle Martin might have something for you. Excuse my glasses. They're 100s. So, what I wrote down here for you is, let's just say you would dream about any one of these things. And this is the definition that I recall having the answer to. Let's just say you dream of a house. What does a house mean? Well, let's see what a house means, kids. It means yourself. Also, a car. If you're dreaming about a car, that's also yourself. So, what condition is the car in? What condition is the house in? Where are you in the house? We're gonna get to that. I'm just gonna throw some things out there at you, see if it makes any sense. I've done this for a few years now, since I was 18. You can see that I have a little more experience. So maybe it could be something for somebody out there wondering what that crazy dream was that you had just last night. Maybe this could help you. So we got house as self, attic. Attic is your conscious mind. It also can mean your higher self. A tower definitely means you're super conscious. Super conscious, conscious, subconscious. The turret, a turret would be your ears. Cellar is your subconscious. Now, if you're in the living room, this would be daily activities. And tunnels or caves, that would be deeper levels of your mind. Your dining room, you happen to be in your dining room, that would be your consumption of food, excuse me, or your mind, consumption for the mind. Hallways, if you're ever in a hallway or you're going from one room to another and you're right in the middle of that that's what it is. It's a transition. Remember we talked about the god Janus, the guy with two heads, looks both ways. That was a transition. New Year's. That was the New Year's episode. These episodes are getting. Got to remember these episodes, I suppose. The numbers, I'm remembering the thumbnails, but the numbers, you know how I am with numbers. If you don't know, you know I've been working on my numbers ever since I was a child. They sometimes get twisted, but I'm working on it. Okay, so we got the hallway. The hallway is the transition, or it can also mean change. Some kind of change is happening. You've got a wall or a fence in your dream. This would be obstacles, or it could be a divider. And a desk. A desk is your work, your workplace. You're working on something, or a desk. Telephone ringing. Telephone ringing or an arrow. Both of these will mean a message. A message is coming. And a foghorn. You ever hear a foghorn? Danger. Water or fish. Water or fish is spiritual. Hopefully it's pretty fish. Hopefully it's clean, crispy, nice water. Hopefully it is. And if not, then you might have some spiritual things you have to work out. You've got a fork in your dream. That means to pick something out carefully. And a spoon means feeding. Spoon feeding. Bathroom, a bathroom overflowing. That means uncontrollable emotions. Or it might mean you have to work on your plumbing. All this can be literal or figurative, these dreams, by the way. So a porch would stand for outside of yourself or something foreign. Now, a porch could be a stoop. Roof is your highest point. It's your ideals, the roof. Windows. I know somebody's been dreaming of windows. Well, that means light, perception, eyes, and awareness. And a fireplace? Well, I've got a fireplace. But the fireplace can mean comfort. It could also mean purification or digestion. And furnace was an episode I had when I was explaining when I was a little guy how up in Flagstaff at that dinner table when somebody wasn't digesting their food very well, and that mom came over and says, "Well, think about your tummy as a furnace, and you go that brum bum 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 bum, and you get that furnace because you've already fed your food into your furnace, but it just doesn't have the fire that's needed to digest your food. So by you thinking vroom, in that furnace. You hear you can hear all the noises in your stomach. Your tummy's starting to work now. See, because sometimes you have to think about these things, and your body will listen when you start thinking about things. So we got the back door. The back door would signify something negative or hidden. The back door. Usually you want to come in the front door, you would think. So soap is a purifying need, spiritually or physically. Could be you're just not quite taking the bath or shower and using enough soap. Could be just something like that. Or it could be you spiritually have to clean up a little more. Salt is the zest of life. We've got children. If you dream children, could be you're going to have some children. Could be childish. Depends what kind of children they are. Are they playing nicely or is it childlike, childish? You got a floor. You're dreaming of a floor. You're on a floor. This means principles. It means foundation. And it's for the body, mind, or spirit. Now the bedroom usually means rest. Usually. Philadelphia, you're dreaming you could be in New York, or I don't know, you could be in Arizona, you could be in Florida, you could be in California, and you're dreaming about Philadelphia. What? That's the craziest dream. Well, Philadelphia. Maybe you're around some friends, and you've had some differences with the friends, or something of that nature. Well, Philadelphia, as we all know, it's the city of brotherhood. So maybe you have to have more brotherhood in your life, whatever that might be. Got trees. Trees, a bunch of trees, would signify a collusion of view. You're not, you could be seeing the forest instead of the tree in front of the forest. You know, does it, somebody cuts down a tree, nobody's there, does it really make a sound? I don't want to go into all that. Just a tree. A bunch of trees could be obstruction of your view. One tree, I understand it as what size a tree is it, because the tree signifies you as an individual also. So you could have a small little tree that's just growing. So it could be spiritual growth that you're growing. Could be a big tall tree, a dying tree. That's not very positive. Dying tree means usually spiritually you're not going in the right direction. Dead tree, oh boy, that's not very positive either. I had a dream. I'm just gonna throw it out there because it just hit me right now. What would this mean to you kids? I was dating this girl. She was beautiful, beautiful girl, and well, outwardly she was beautiful, but I didn't know. See, we can have beauty on the outside, but yet someone can be very ugly on the inside, kids, and that's the way it works. Until we have that discernment and understanding that it does work that way. So in my case, I was actually dating this girl. We were, yeah, and we were gonna go a little closer to where, to go together, I guess. So I had a dream that night, and she had a dream that night. It's very interesting too. And so my dream was that I was going through. It was like all these dead trees were down all over, and we were together. We were holding hands. We're jumping over these dead trees, and it seemed a little dark, and it was nighttime, and there was lightning. There was lightning above me, and the lightning was going all over the top of my head, over our heads. And actually, the lightning was coming down and hitting a lot of the dead trees while we were holding hands and running over these trees. So when I woke up, I thought about it, and I thought, maybe this is not the girl for me to be dating anymore. It was just a feeling that I had. And I think that's what it was. And she had a dream totally opposite, like it was going to be the most wonderful thing the rest of our life together. And anyways, you either listen to your dreams or you don't. And I decided that I said, I don't think I really enjoy your company, but I don't think we should go any further with this relationship. Is basically what I came up with on that dream. So we got trees. Okay. Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty would be freedom. You have a dream of a picture that's too close to your face, or maybe this would definitely have to be a picture of you or something of a picture that's close to you that you're able to see. Would have to mean that you're understanding. You have to look at something a little closer. Also, photographs, and I believe it's mirrors. You see a mirror, you have to take a little closer look at yourself. This this makes sense to some people. Some people say, I don't know, I just don't see it, Uncle Marty. I just don't see what you're talking about. Well, just hold on, hold on. I might have something for you here. So you got hair. Hair signifies something that's coming from your head, usually, unless you're bald. But that could also mean something. Bald, bald means more thinking, since it's the top of your head. You got to think more. Or it could mean that you have to take better care of your hair. Could be that. We got red golden hair. This is constructive, a constructive active mind. Whereas red hair, well, as we know, there's only 2% of you guys out there for the whole planet. That's pretty cool. But it also means temper. You might have to control your temper. There's that red hair. You have kinky hair. This might mean you have to straighten out your thinking. Kinky hair. And white hair would be wisdom. Golden hair would be golden or spiritual thought. Dull, well, let's start with black hair on a positive note, would be intriguing, something that's going to be intriguing, mysterious, of the mind. That's black hair. Whereas if it's dull black hair, lifeless, that might mean some mental depression somehow. And stiff hair would be rigid thinking. Matted, disheveled hair would be a mental imbalance, or some type of physical control that you would need to look into. Oh boy, urinating, defecating on the floor. Well, this would mean a lack of physical control, and it's definitely a warning dream. Because remember what flora was? It was your principles. It's a foundation for your body and your mind and spirit. Also, if it was somebody else that was doing this on your floor, that might be a warning dream to take care on whoever was doing that in your dream. So you got all these things that I wrote down for you. I don't know if it's anything that makes sense for you. Oil is removing friction in your life, or it could mean we got to clean up the oceans. There's a lot of oil spills. Oh my goodness, I didn't really write all that much down for you guys. There's a whole lot of tons of stuff that I could do for dreams and diagnosing them for you. But I'm just trying to give you a little foundation on what's helped me. Now, inhaling wine, excuse me, inhaling wine is the Holy Spirit, which you have to first imbue the right spirit before you can take on the bread of life, which bread is significantly meaning the bread of life as well as greater patience and God qualities. Bread signifies. Peeling potatoes. Well, this is a lesson in humility. I know that none of you folks out there have any issues with humility. I know I do. I have had. Maybe I do. I know I was told since, I was a Leo that I have to be as humble as a potato. When I heard that, I said, hey, that ain't easy. That's not very easy. But it can be done. When you think about what your faults might be, once you recognize them, then you're able to work on them until you see you have a situation. It just isn't going to happen until you think about it, kids. We've gone over thought, how important that is. So, not only is the peeling potatoes a lesson in humility, you have to be willing to do menial tasks, but to keep your eye on the spiritual horizons. That means menial tasks. What's a menial task? Well, how about cleaning the toilet? That's about as menially as you get. How about a ditch digger? That's pretty menial. I want to tell you something, kids. Not a long time ago, but when I had less experience, my father told me he didn't care what I did, but I had to do it well. And he also said, well, we did have a custodial. He was in partners with somebody with a custodial company. I can't say it because I think they're still in business, but he came down with an illness for a little bit, and during that time he wasn't able to go full partners. My point was he had said, since we were in the custodial avenues of things, he said, I don't care if you have to. He said, you are going to clean that toilet. And he says, but I want you to do it well. Also, it might be humiliating, but not really. Because once you get a sink or porcelain or a floor clean, people recognize that and they feel happier. Hey, think about it, kids. Isn't it nice to have a clean toilet than a dirty toilet? Absolutely. And ditch digging, I've done that in my day. I've done it. I've got to do it pretty soon because, by the way, I won that court situation that I had said back in the other episodes, when you don't take the law into your own hands and you get some lawyers. See? And so I wanted to tell you that I did win the case. So now I'm going to get my irrigation, which people just can't come in and take your irrigation pipes and stop you from having water in Arizona. At least at this time. It was close. But then I had some dreams about it, and I was telling I didn't tell my lawyers that, but I said, don't worry about it. It's going to come out okay. And they're looking at me like, no, it's really touchy. It could be. I said, no, I had that dream. I didn't say that. And I'll tell you about that one of these times, but not right now. I'm just saying, they come true. That's why I'm doing this for you kids. Not to just think it's a bunch of, that's the craziest dream I ever had. And then don't think about it anymore. That's your That's your higher self and subconscious telling you, you better look at this a little closer, all right? Let me put my glasses on for a minute. So we're out of that humility, aren't we? The dying tree, we all already know about that. Um, a pool of blood would be you got a pool of blood somewhere. I guess it could mean you better be careful also on all different levels, but one would definitely be that you're losing vital force, vital energy. Maybe somebody's taking it from you, or it could be definitely, I would say, a warning dream. A pool of blood. A snake. A snake would be sexual temptations, um, or it could, snake. Biblically, yeah, biblically it would be a temptation. The apple. Remember the apple. But on the other side of town, in India, snakes are spiritual. It's the raising of the energies from lower to higher within the body. I'll go into that sometime, but not right now. So we have a spider in a web. Well, that could be very easily a danger and a snare and delusions. That could represent it. And on that episode, I believe it was on the last episode, possibly. The spider, the dream I had with the spider, a spider wanting a gun. That's the most ridiculous. But how it came true, right? That guy was a spider. So the accusing finger is yourself being accused of something, whatever that is in your dream. A whistle blowing, danger, means stop. An alarm clock ringing, absolutely a warning dream. It's danger and it means wake up, all right, to whatever the situation is in that clock ringing in your dream. Milk. Milk is a representation of human kindness. It's also immaturity, and it could be also maybe your diet. So it could be all those things. I just touched upon just a couple of things that I could for you right now because, as you know, our time is limited here, and it is getting close to your bedtime. I can tell. Although you could be listening to this at noon, but I'm feeling it's more nighttime than noon. So I'm just going to end with this because I came across while I was doing all this. I still write my dreams down. So this is just 2 days ago, and this is what happened. I didn't realize it until I looked at what I wrote down. What I wrote down 2 days ago, and I came across it today because I didn't decipher my dream. I just wrote it down. It was like in the middle of the night, I woke up and I got my pen and blah, blah, blah. And this is what I did. I did waxing floors, a desk, buffing out floors, eating cleaning fluid. Not me, but somebody was eating cleaning fluid. And they asked me, is it okay to eat cleaning fluid? And my answer was, no, it isn't. It's poison. Which it is, kids. Cleaning fluid is poison. That's the craziest dream you ever had. No, really. I've had some really crazy ones. As you well know, episode 28, dreams come true. Yeah. Was that not crazy, kids? But it came true. So we got need to buff out the streaks in the waxing. There was wax. There was streaks in the wax. Had to be done in a timely manner. And somebody said, it's got to be buffed out. And I said, well, I got a buffer at home. It's a small buffer, but I got it at home. And then somebody said, well, you can rent one. You can get a real big buffer. Yeah, yeah. And then it was the next one was there was desks and stools on top of the desks. I was in a schoolroom. Hey, you guys are helping me. I don't remember. I just remember that now. I was in a schoolroom cleaning the floors with the desks and the stools on top of the desk. Wow, this is fantastic. So it needed to be buffed out. Wax floors. Oh, they were going. There was streaks in it, but it was north and south, and I had to go east and west with it. So I had one direction going, but I had to go the other direction also. So as I looked at that today, I said, what is that craziest dreaming? What could it possibly? 2 days, 3 days ago, see, your dreams will tell you something that's happening in your life and what was going on. So I go back 3 days, and that's what it was. It was, I had fallen into a trap of, sometimes it happens, kids. You get around a bunch of people, and you know in your heart that gossip is not the right thing to do. And I know you in your heart you know it, but on television and all these sitcoms and stuff, there's always somebody talking about someone else, gossiping about something else. And gossip is so tasty, isn't it? It's so tasty. Everybody likes to talk about something about, oh, somebody else over there, and somebody else over there. But they're not really thinking about what they should be thinking about of themselves rather than about other people. Especially gossip is usually always negative. I don't recall ever gossip being a positive thing. Not really. Most of the time, it is negative. Gossip is negative and it's very hurtful. It's hurtful not only for your own karma that you're going to be receiving back, but it's harmful for that person that's getting hit. You can't see, you can't touch, that they're getting hit with this negative gossip. It's so tasty to talk about. So that's what Uncle Martin had fallen into that 3 days prior, the day prior to this dream. I caught myself, but it was late. It was too late because I was agreeing with these people, and then finally at the end, I'm thinking, "Oh man, I'm in this gossip ring here. What do I do?" Well, I usually don't fall into that trap because whenever I hear something about someone else that's very negative, and it can very well be true. These things are true, but you and I have always done this, always except this time. At the end I did, but I didn't do it faster. You always find whatever they're talking about that individual, and you grab something that's positive about them. Um, yeah, they're doing all that, but think about this. They're not as bad as they were. Or whatever it is, you just turn it around to where, yeah, that guy is that kind of, but look how they are improving now that we've, well, pointed out these other things, whatever they are. And then they're gonna, oh, they always say, yeah, you're right. They are, but they're coming around. They're doing so much better. See, I did that, but it was at the hind end of everything, and by that time everybody's leaving. I mean, I threw a couple bones in there, but anyway, I didn't realize it until I was looking at this dream that I just told you about. Just look at it this way: the floor. What is a floor? Floor is for the principles. Floor is a principles. It's a foundation for your body, mind, or spirit. So the floor that I was buffing out, that I was waxing, I mean, it was a fine wax job because I know how to wax a floor, make it look like glass, and there's an art to that, and I'm not going to go there. But I needed to buff out more. And see, that's what I'm saying. Dreams come in levels. They keep telling you the same thing if you look at it. Because here's somebody eating the cleaning solution. The cleaning solution was the gossip. It was so tasty because the person that was eating the cleaning solution said, "This is so tasty. It's so fantastic. Is it okay to eat this cleaning solution?" I said, "No, you can't eat that solution. It's poison." And that's what gossip is. Gossip is poison. It's poison not only to you, but it's to the people that you're gossiping about. That's what it basically comes down to. I know at the time it seems funny because what's happening is when you gossip about someone, you're usually lessening that person, and you think you're standing up on a higher level because you're able to see what a lower person this is that you're gossiping about. And in reality, you're not raising yourself up at all. You're making things more negative in your world and you don't even realize it. As Uncle Martin did just 3 days ago, well, 5 days ago, since this is 2 days ago. It doesn't matter what day it is, it's when you realize what you're doing. Even as high up as you may think you are, there's always a dream that's going to help you out. So, a desk, definitely in my workplace. The whole thing comes down to a significant situation for me that I can't fall in the trap of gossip, as we all do, kids. It's hard not to when you have it on everywhere you're looking, everywhere you talk to people. But if you notice, kids, there's going to always be somebody usually hopefully there's somebody usually within that circle of gossip that's going to do exactly what Uncle Martin just said. Yeah, that person is kind of a goofy person there and all that. But look how fast they do run. Look how they can jump further off that swing than anybody else, Or kids, whatever it is, there's always a positive side that person can do, and you take that and you throw it into the mix of all that negative, and it kind of balances it out. It even maybe it does. It brings everybody else to the realization, well, maybe that person, maybe they are doing that, but they do have these good qualities that we didn't even see. We didn't even see these qualities. So that's what you're doing is you're nullifying the negativity that is being put forth in gossip. I'll have something more on dreams, but that's the foundation we got right now. I hope it helps somebody out there, because if you do those little simple things in the beginning to remember your dreams, to have the protection in your dreams, and to have control of your dreams, you're on your way. You're on your way to really understanding more and more and more of your subconscious and your higher self. Because we are monkey in the middle. We really don't even, we need that help. And we get that help through our dreams. So, I hope it helps someone out there. I bet it did. Because I can feel that you kids no longer at least are thinking about gossiping about someone else. Okay, so until I see you again next Sunday, I'll have another true story for you. And until then, aloha and be well.